And hello everybody, welcome to Weighted to Win. It's a start of a brand new week on this Monday. We trust all well. The weekend was tough, it wasn't easy. We did get the place accumulator, I know. It helped a little bit, but hopefully this week we can have a brand new look at how we're going to do things this Monday afternoon anyway. We're on Weighted to Win Twitter account. Our handle there is @Weighted to Win. We've got a WhatsApp number for you to join. We'd love for you to do so. We're also on YouTube, so please go to YouTube, find the latest show, or 4racing.tv right here. Otherwise, naturally, on DSTV. So let's get straight into the action. It's an 8-race program on the Poly at Hollywood Bets Greyville. I've got Darren Burrows, who joins me from Cape Town. Darren, morning. How are things your side?
Good, Clyde. I just want to put last week behind us. It was a tough week for all punters, but I look forward to this meeting ahead of us, and hopefully we can catch some decent exotics.
Let's talk about this course favourite in the first Corsican. Can it win?
I think it looks a right horse on form, but I wouldn't be rushing out to take that price about him. He's drifted in both his starts from 20-1 to 40-1, and then 9-10 out to 33-10. And he was beaten last time by a long-time maiden, Forgotten Time, who finally cracked his maiden. Corsican, yes, he's the horse to beat, but I would include horses like Arbitrator. He hasn't been far off the action and should run another honest race. And then I've got Wings. Her best run came with the blinkers on, and I think she'll be thereabouts.
All right, I guess then at the end of the day, what's important to hear is the bipot, because we want to get some bipot action start to the first. Daryl, how's your weekend been?
Yeah, okay, thanks, Claude. I believe we caught the jackpot too.
Pardon?
We did catch the jackpot yesterday.
The second jackpot, yes. What did that pay?
The first jackpot.
The first jackpot.
And the second.
And the second. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent.
So
well, it's good news that we caught all of those. What sort of profit
we
did you
ended
get
the bad week on a little bit of a high.
Okay. Well, that's sorry, I wasn't following it that closely in the end, but that's good to know. I thought we just got the PA.
No.
Let's go back and have a look at the balance in my total account then, if that's the case.
We're going to put that week behind us.
Okay. Yeah, we need to.
Claude, the first leg of the bipots, I've gone with two horses over here. I think Arbitrator is the horse to beat. He's certainly improved since being fitted with blinkers, shown a lot of pace, and let's hope he gets to the front, because when you're on the front on a quick run poly, you've got half the battle won already. So Arbitrator is going to be my top pick ahead of Corsican. Now, he's only had 2 starts straight. Like Darren touched on, he was beaten by a struggling sort last time out, and on debut, he had a horse like Sleeker Silk ahead of him. So I don't think he brings the strongest form into the race, but he certainly has scope for improvement. And he clearly holds the likes of I Got Wings on form. So 6 from 8.
Okay. 6, 8, those are the two. I know that on Arbitrator, in terms of the market, they're backing it from 22-10 into 2-1. So there is support at this stage. 10 o'clock this morning for Paul Matchett's horse. Let's have a look at the bipot now. Here's the Daryl's bipot. Daryl, you'll take us through your numbers?
Yes, Clyde, 6 and 8, by 1, 3 and 8, by 2 and 6, by 1, 3, 8, 9 and 10, by 4 and 9, by 2 and 4. That perm will cost 240 Rand.
On to the second. Let's get straight into race number 2 now. This race on the Polly's run over the mile, and Can't Fool Me is currently at 13-10. Second choice, Natalia, is at 3-1. And I thought, Darren, that Can't Fool Me perhaps the one to beat. Having said that, I see the Natalia form's been sort of behaving itself. That was Tangerine Pearl come from Act Naturally to win. So I would imagine you would have respect for that now.
I've got respect for Natalia, but I really like this horse, Can't Fool Me. I watched the replay last night, and she took a long time to unwind her stride. The final 50 meters, she really started to quicken, and she was passing horses. The mile's going to be much more upper alley. I think she's looking for 2,000 meters in time to come. I'm not sure the tactics from an 8 draw, but she'll be doing good late work and could be too good for them. Natalia, not much separating herself, and she's not easy. But then again, she's not easy. Her dam was an out-and-out sprinter, so I'm not sure if the mile's going to suit her. So I'll go 8 from 1 in race 2.
Okay, 8-1 from Darren. So which way are you going?
Well, Claude, a lot of these fillies are lightly raced and they've still got scope for improvement, especially now that they've been stepped up in trip. Can't fool me, I also watched that replay. She only got going very late in that race. She was switched towards the inside and she was staying on. But then again, she was sandwiched by two very moderate horses in Aspusterki and Act of Mercy. I don't think they any great shakes. So she doesn't bring the strongest form into this race, but she's got a lot of scope for improvement. She's not easy. I'm favouring her over the stable companion. I thought she was very disappointing in her second start. I put that down to the fact that I think it's still too sharp for her. I know her dam was a sprinter. I think 4 wins all over the minimum trip.
Yeah.
But being by out of Duke of Marmalade with a half-brother that won over a mile by Trippy, I think she's looking for this extra. So I'm going to be favouring She's Not Easy over the likes of Can't Fool Me and the stable companion number 1, Natalia.
Okay, She's Not Easy from Daryl's side in terms of the second race, and there you're talking 33-10. Let's put a place accumulator up now and take a look at what the plan is. Darren, this is your PA, so you can give us some guidance here.
Yeah, it's not often I take a field in a place accumulator leg, but we are guaranteed to treble up. That's in the 5th leg. I'm going 1 and 8 by 2, 5, 8 by 10 by 4, 8, 9 by the entire field by 3 and 6 by 2 and 4 at a cost of 576 Rand.
Now we're going over 1,900 meters. Let's get into it. This is the third race. It's pick 6 time, and in a market like this, they are betting 7-2 the field. So one would imagine it's quite open. From a market perspective, I can tell you it's behaved itself in terms of really very quiet. There's nothing going on. So that's market-wise, Darren. But let's get your idea on what you're going to do first leg here.
I think I found a horse at 10-1 called Pirate Prince. I watched the replay of his last start, and he took a long time to unwind. That was behind without question. There's a lot of collateral form in this race, but I really believe that Pirate Prince is going to show the natural improvement over the 1,900-meter trip. So I'm going Pirate Prince at a decent price. Hopefully he can open the pick 6 for us over horses like Dawn Mission. 6 seconds in his last 7 starts. He'll get it right one of these days. And Duke of Africa should also be right there.
Okay, well, that's a double-figure horse, Pirate Prince. We're not going to leave it out the pick 6 naturally. From your side, Daryl?
Claude, I like the look of number 6 over here. Is You or Is You Ain't? Now, you know that stable's going about business in hot form, Claude. Carl Lewinson's having his winners.
Sunday, huh?
You know, I think from his last 15 runners, he's had 4 odd winners and a good couple of seconds. So the stable's in cracking form. I watched his replay. Now, he's a nice sort. He went handy and he quickened very well. Might have quickened too well at the top of the straight. He was caught in front for a long way out. I think with a slightly more patient ride, I think he can get it right. Obviously, Dawn Mission's very consistent. So he's another one that's going to get it right very soon. But you can't really rely on him. With regards to the PA, yes. So I'm going to be with Is You or Is You Ain't, number 6 ahead of the 2 Dawn Mission. One that's very unexposed, Clyde, is number 3 Street Art. Now he's only having his 3rd start. His his full brother, also by Elusive Fort, was best around the 7 furlong mark. Let's see how he goes now that he's been stepped up in trip. If he's more effective, I wouldn't be shocked to see him get it right because he's got a lot of scope for improvement. So for me, 6, 2, and 3 to fight it out.
Okay, well, Is You or Is You Ain't? That horse is currently at 5-1. Let's set our pick 6 up now that you've heard from both Darren and Daryl. This is Darren's turn now. Darren, that's your pick 6. Your banker comes up in the 2nd leg, I see. So let's chat about that quickly.
A very tough pick 6, and you have to find a banker somewhere or it's too costly. And I've fallen on this horse Lucretius in the 2nd leg. I was impressed with his last victory, and I'm not too concerned about his 6-point penalty. So I've gone 2, 3, 5, 6, 8 by 10, by 1, 4, 8, 9, by field, by 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, by 2, 4, and 6. 240 Rand will give you 10%.
Now time to have a look at race number 4 on the card. Let's take a look at what the story is here. This particular event is a handicap at the 64 level, and in this case, they'll race them over the 1900 metres again. Let's have a look at the market. We know that Darren in his pick 6 is banked Lucretius, but it's interesting because Carl Hewittson's got both favourites. He's got Lord Minver, who's at 33 to 10. At the moment was top of the boards when we did the show at 10 in the morning, and Lucretius is currently trading at 7 to 2. So he does dominate the market. Darren, and I guess you wouldn't have changed your mind, and that all eggs in the one basket here.
Well, Lucretius last time out, I mean, he moved up to them with a double handful at the 300, and then when asked the question, he accelerated away from Lord Minver in good style. That was his first try with the cheek pieces again. He really showed improvement. That was over course and distance. I know Lord Minver's favourite. He finished 3 1/4 lengths behind Lucretius. He's 3 kilos better off for that effort. So there shouldn't be too much separating them. I did speak to one of the owners of Lucretius this morning, and they're very bullish. They're expecting a massive run. So I've chosen to bank a Lucretius.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That's a little bit of inside information, so to speak, which is always good to hear when there's a confident owner, which I know you did very well yesterday. Darren spoke to Mr. Texera, remember?
Mel's Princess.
And, Mel's Princess, correct, and that's good news. So keep talking to the owners, Darren. It helps us a lot. I'm quite surprised that, I guess there's nothing in it in the market, really. I mean, you could say it's almost 7 to 2 the pair.
Well, Clyde, you know, if Darren put 4 horses over here, you could still go out because it's a wide open event. He's chosen to banker, and let's hope it comes home for him. You know, Clyde, this was Monsieur Cheval. I know a lot of people are going to be scratching their head as to why I'm tipping him, because he's been a long-time maiden. But I was very impressed in the manner in which he turned it on in his later starts on the poly track. You know, he was caught on the fence, and once I came off that rail into the straight and he got a gap, he really quickened on well. So I think in his handicap debut, I'm not going to be surprised if he can go back-to-back, because he's the manner in which he won caught my eye. So I'm going to tip him as some each-way value. Now, number 8, Fever, since I removed the blinkers in his last 2 starts, he's been very consistent, finishing close up on both occasions. He tries the tongue tie this time around. And, you know, Putzer Sky came out and ran second in his next start. So I think Fever should be thereabouts. And then the 3 that Darren touched on, Lord Minver, Living Water, and Lucretius, on paper, there shouldn't be much separating the 3 of them.
Okay, interesting race, so with different opinion. Let's get up jackpots now. This is a jackpot, our first jackpot today, and the plan here is we're going 1, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. So we're naturally taking a cover from a pick 6 perspective, and we've included what Daryl likes there too, with 1, 4, 8, 9, 10 in the second leg. Third leg, we thought the hardest race on the card, that Gunsmoke race, that field there, and then 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. And that's a 1,200 Rand jackpot, but you can spend 120 Rand for 10%, or 12 Rand gets you 1%. Let's talk about race number 5. Interesting race, because there are a few in here that can win, like Immeasurable and Boundless Bash, for example. They both got to have some sort of chance. Market-wise, 5 to 2 about Immeasurable for Sean Terry. Rachel Venica rides Immeasurable here. And perhaps the one to beat, but Darren, let's talk about your fancy in the race from Frank Robinson's stable and Muzieni's ride, and just tell us why you like it.
Well, I thought Catch the Tune should run another honest race. You know, his penultimate start, he took on a feature race field. He was out at the weights, and he only got beat 6 lengths by Decorated. Last time out on the poly over 1,700 meters, he was very impressive. Muzieni retains the ride after a short break. And I think he's the value in the race, but I've got a lot of respect for Immeasurable. He takes a bit of a drop in class. He's taken on Super Silver, Banner Bridge. In this type of company, he could get it right. And then Boundless Bash, a very impressive maiden winner. He can follow up and then Master to be the best of the rest.
Can tell you from a market perspective, it's still quiet. There hasn't really been much movement for anything in this. Well, not say much. Actually, there's been no movement at all at 10 o'clock this morning. What do you think, Daryl?
Clyde Immeasurable's very fit. He's very honest. Last time out, we saw the win on that occasion was slung in at the weight, and the run-up was an improving sort, so certainly didn't disgrace himself. He should run another honest race. Boundless Bash, now he's an improving 3-year-old. Since they've stepped him up in ground, he's got better with each and every start. He's making his handicap debut this time around, and he could be ahead of the handicapper because he won with a lot of ease last time out. A horse I'd like to throw into the trifecta, certainly for the back end, is number 10, Star Crusade. Now, he's usually out of his ground, but his tongue tie gets fitted this time around. And Clyde, I'm hoping he gets into the race early and doesn't leave himself with too much to do. I think he could certainly run an improved race. So for me, 9 from 10, but throw in the roughie in the pack, number 10. 9 from 4.
9 from 4. Okay, well, the 4, well, at least Boundless Bash is, the best drawn in terms of the ones that have been spoken about, and would have a serious winning chance going into a handicap like this, one would think. But one will have respect for Immeasurable as well as Catch the Tune, and now maybe even Star Crusade. Let's go and put our jackpots up in this race. Take a look at what we're doing. We're going 1, 4, 8, 9, and 10 by field, by 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9, by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. Again, we're spending that number, 1,200 or thereabouts, whatever you can afford, of course. Race 5, time for jackpot 2. Let's get on to the 6th race now, guys. 4-1 the field is the last time we had a look at the market. 4-1 the field, and one of them being Gunsmoke. Lorenzo Karim's got both. He's got Gunsmoke and Quizmaster that top the boards, and one of them in there also is Dennis Bosch's horse. Darren, let's come to you and chat about this 1,400. We've looked at our jackpots. We know what we've got. We've got horses running, but what's your first choice?
I don't have a first choice in this race, Clyde. It's as open as they come. I've gone the field in all my exotics, including the PA to treble up. So I'm going to leave this one to Daryl to find the winner for us.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. There's a good answer.
Yeah, throwing me into the deep end of here.
So Darren Burrows wants the result 3-2-6. If he gets that result, he's the only PA runner.
Well, I'm happy with a 2 running second because then I'll survive my bypot.
Okay,
let's
so
touch on him,
Purple
Clyde.
Operator, yeah?
Let's touch on Purple Operator. He's having his 3rd run off the layoff. Although he's been successful over the 5 furlongs, I think he's more effective over the 7 furlongs. So
Right.
super fit from a neat draw. I think he's going to run a fair race. But my first pick has to be number 4, Quizmaster. Now, his 2 poor runs have been on a soft track, Clyde. His post-maiden run, he had excuses on that occasion. And barring that, he hasn't disgraced himself. I think he's run fair races. So, Son of Silvana, I don't believe we've seen the best of him yet. So I'm going to be 4 from 2, but like Darren touched on, this race is a bit of a nightmare.
Nightmare race. The boys, there you go. So perhaps Purple Operator, but anything else can win in a race like this. We've got an exacta, and the horse we're going to use to float in that exacta is number 4 on the card. That is Quizmaster. And with that, we're going float the 4 with the field. And for that, you can spend it 14 Rand, take it once, or 140 Rand, as we recommend. We now get on to the 7th, final leg of the first jackpot. Let's get into the action over here, see how they're betting. And Dawn of a New Day is 18-10 favourite. Second choice is number 3 on the card, Bingin Beach. And number 2, Splash of Green, is trading at around 4-1. They are betting 12s and better the others. I see this also on the drift. Trump My Queen is drifting. So is Maria Carolina. There are a few that are on the drift thereafter, Darren. So Shape of You, having read the Hollywood Bet comments, the ownership in terms of Shape of You, they sound very bullish. You like it?
I give it a big chance. She's had the 2 comeback runs after a 6-month layoff, finishing second on both occasions close up. So she's got to be one for the shortlist. Dawn of a New Day really likes the poly. Last time out, won as she liked. She can follow up. And then Binging Beach did beat Dawn of a New Day in her last start. She caught her on the post. That was on the turf, but she also handles the poly. So I would throw in numbers 9, 6, 3, and don't exclude Splash of Green with the 4 kilos off her back.
Okay, won't leave it out. Twice the trip form, the one runner that came from there was that also mentioned, Mel's Princess earlier, came to win from there. And that represents this horse from the Hollywood Syndicate stable.
Yeah, Clyde, I'm leaning towards the Binghamton Beach form line. I think she's certainly improved with the blinkers. I know she got up in the Dying Strides last time out, but she goes very well on the poly track. She beat Dawn of a New Era on that occasion, and she's half a kilogram better off. Now, Dawn of a New Era might have struck the front too soon on that occasion, so there isn't much separating them. And then you've got the likes of number 4, Trump My Queen. Now, Gavin Funzel's other companion, that stable's come well, Clyde. They're having their winners. Now, I know she's disappointed in the past, but she does try the poly for the first time out, and on paper, she should get closer to both Bingham Beach and Dawn of a New Era. I wouldn't be shocked to see her win, and I'd like to see her bounce back to what we know she's capable of. So 3, 4, and 6 in no particular order.
What's there? Just a couple of lengths separating Dawn of a New Day and Trump My Queen, right?
Yes,
2.5 lengths or something. 3 lengths. Okay, well, that's interesting. Let's have a look at what we're going to do. We're taking exactas here in this race, and we're going with these horses: 2 Splash of Green, 3 Binging Beach, the 4 Trump My Queen, and the 6 Dawn of a New Day. And what worries me is that there's lots of confidence about Shape of You from the stable. So just keep your ears and eyes open. We're on to the 8th and final. Please note that when we recorded the show this morning, we were updated with 2 scratchings, both 1 and 4 not running. Chara Sands and Dragarati are both out. I can tell you from a market perspective that One Too Many's top of the boards at 33-10, but drifting. Just a Guy Thing also drifting 7-2, and so was Trafalgar Square on the drift to 7-2. The horse that they are backing, interestingly enough, is Valiente from the Peter Muscat stable, and I can tell you MK Kachedi riding that. Shortened from 11s to 8s, perhaps not too much of a movement, but there is focus on that horse right now, Darren.
You can't ignore his chances. His rating's down to a 62 with 4 kilos off his back. Got a deep draw, but he likes to run with pace. I wouldn't ignore his chances. I was impressed with One Too Many's last victory. He went to the head of affairs, kept him at bay, and his rating still had a very competitive mark. He's actually placed in a lot stronger company in the past. So One Too Many over horses like Trafalgar Square and Just a Guy Thing.
Let's bring Daryl Marie in here to talk about this last race. If you needed to have a bet and get the money out of the race, what would you do?
Trifecta's boxed. Clyde, no surprise to see the 10 shorts in the market. Now he's 8.5 kilograms better off with One Too Many. And he also had excuses on that occasion. His rating's right down to 62. So for wider pims, he has to certainly be included. I like the look of numbers 3 and 5 over here. Now, Just a Guy Thing's very honest. Last time he lost his race at the start. Certainly better than that. He's going to be thereabouts. But number 5, Joshua Hot Snake. Now, he's very capable on his day. I just hope that he's in contention turning for home, because he's certainly going to enjoy the fact that the pace is going to be on and he likes to come with a late rattle. So if he's not too far off them turning for home, I think he could run them down. So each way play number 5, Joshua Hot Snake, but it's a very tricky event, Clyde.
It certainly is a tricky event. So on that basis, this is what we recommend you do. The last race here, with those who are watching closer to race time, get your bet on. We're taking trifectas. We're not taking chances. And we're going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10 in as far as this trifecta is concerned. Don't forget, just a reminder about the scratching in this race, or in this particular event, that the 4 Tragarati is not going to be running. So you can, of course, reduce that by going 2, 3, 5, 6, and 10.